well. Welcome to the show, Mr. Sharma. My first question to you, before taking your first reaction, is with regards to a clarification that Brigade Enterprises is looking at, wherein what Mr. Jaishankar was indicating is that yes, on the back of GST rate cut, probably on a price of 5,000 rupees per square feet, it would result in a 350 rupees per square feet save for the consumer, but on the back of no input tax credit, it would increase cost for a builder by almost 500 rupees on a per square feet basis, taking a 5,000 rupee per square feet cost into consideration. Do you agree with something like this, and do you also, as an industry expert, would look for a clarification from the government on the back of this?
Echoing the same sentence Mr. Jaishankar has spoken to you. Prima facie, every customer today is conscious and aware of the fact that the current pricing is based on all the developers taking the input tax credit. And what are the basic input tax today credit we are taking? The cement enjoyed 28% of the GST. The steel and most of the other inputs materials, they enjoy 18%. The contractors charge 18% sort of a thing. And all these input tax now, because there is no input ITC, that input tax credit will be available, we are going back to that composition scheme where 1% and 5% for affordable and for the other products will be the charge on the basic price. So what will happen optically is the difference between the under construction homes and the completed homes. It will be much, much less. So there will be a momentum and incentive for the customers to start looking at the under construction homes, and the velocity of that is expected to increase. As far as this absorption part is concerned, depending upon the market situation, the cost is real. How much developers absorb or pass, it will depend upon the developers and the market conditions. But the input tax which was earlier not considered as a cost, right? If it is added to the cost, somewhere this needs to be communicated, and I think the market will understand and appreciate that part.
Right. So, Mr. Sharma, if you could just help me understand, with everything said and done and whatever we've discussed, overall, will the price of real estate come down over time right now, or is there a possibility where we could see some bit of an uptick that could come in terms of per square feet prices?
It is a beautiful question. I think that the government wants housing for all, right? And the government is doing its level best to ensure that to the extent possible that the tax rates remain competitive. They are also veering around having three tax rates only, and maybe that 18% becomes 12%, and for our sector it becomes 5%, and maybe at some point of time either the input tax will be allowed, or some of the inputs what we are currently taking, say for example the contractors billing cost, if it is reduced to 12%, if the cement is reduced to 18%, definitely there will be a benefit. Otherwise, government keeps increasing the guideline value of the land every year. The input cost keeps going up, the labor cost keeps going up, and all these things need to be absorbed. And I can tell you with conviction, last 4 to 5 years, the real estate prices vis-a-vis the real income growth, they have grown or they have gone up the least. So the ability for most of the developers to absorb 100% of this input tax credit, in my view, will be difficult. But the market forces and the inventory clearance, like we hear from the market, may also be there parallelly. We have to wait and watch. My view is post 1st of April 2019, once the basic price clarity comes, the optical benefit will be too large. The 5% and 1% will be a beautiful way of communicating that there are not many add-ons, and this should revive the demand.
Right. All right, Mr. Sharma. Pleasure speaking to you, and thank you for sharing your view as well. So overall, there are pros and cons as well. As the management of Brigade Enterprises as well as SOBHA was explaining, that there is a possibility that you could see the basic prices that could shoot up, and this is mainly because the input tax credit that the builders are not able to take, this would hit profitability, and if the builders want to pass it on or not will be their individual choices, but there is a possibility we could see a hit on profitability as well as in terms of a passage that could go into the consumers as well. But let's quickly slip into a short break. On the other side, we will get you, what the management commentary was with regards to Kaplan's point.